In this video, I'm going to make some piles of rubble using polystyrene packing, paper mache and some other scraps. The method is related to how the craters were made, but with some differences. First, you need a base of the size you want. I'm cutting one from a piece of foam board. You can use single corrugated cardboard, but foam board is less likely to warp. If using foam board, bevel the edges slightly. Cover it in PVA and add broken up styrofoam to it, making it higher in the middle. I'm using some small pieces to create more gaps, which will be helpful later. Once dry, add some PVA on top, then a few sheets of toilet paper, which are then sprayed to make them wet. I'm adding a thin layer to start with, so that the paper forms around the styrofoam to give the pile a more irregular shape, then covering it in some of DM Scotty's 50-50 water PVA mix, though I'm using an eyedropper to apply it, as there's much less paper in these items than in his, and slathering it on makes the piles too wet, takes far longer to dry, and, if using cardboard, can over-soak it. I then leave it to dry. Once it's dry, it will be decorated in 2 stages to make it look as if it's got broken items in the pile. To resemble blocks, I'm using some partly cut and partly torn styrofoam. Some pieces of sanded plastic straws are being used as pipes. Some pieces of graphics medium chipboard are being used as larger pieces of wood, and for broken planks I'm using broken coffee stirrers. I'm applying glue and adding various items to the pile. Once the glue is set, I'm dabbing on some more PVA, then sticking some more toilet paper around them. I'm cutting the toilet paper into pieces this time, so that they fit around the items, then again wetting the paper and adding the PVA water mix. These items I'm partly covering, partly leaving exposed. Once I've added enough, I leave it to dry. I'm then adding some more rubble items on top of the pile with PVA. Everything is then covered with PVA applied with a wet brush. Mod Podge will work here as well. Once this is dry, I'm dabbing on some PVA and pouring some sharp or construction sand onto it and shaking off everything that's loose after this has dried. I'm adding some more of the PVA water mix, slightly watered down and with some washing up liquid added, onto the bits of sharp sand just to help lock it in place. I then cover the rubble pile with black acrylic paint. This is followed by a coat of neutral grey, applied so that some of the black still show through. After that, the protruding pieces of debris are painted. The straws are painted black to represent pipes, the chipboard and coffee stirrers are painted with burnt umber to represent wood, the styrofoam pieces are painted with a lighter grey to represent pieces of concrete. The lighter colours may require more than one coat. Some more brown can be dabbed onto the pieces of styrofoam with a piece of sponge to represent some rust. I gave a second coat in places that needed it, then tidied up where paint had got onto the wrong places. I then gave the darker areas a dry brush with a light grey, and the light grey areas a dry brush with white. After this, I used Black Magic Craft's original black wash on it all. After everything is dry, it can then be painted in matte Mod Podge or PVA to strengthen it, although this does add a degree of glossiness. Want to help support the channel? Then please like, Comment, subscribe, share, join our Patreon, or buying through the Amazon or drive-through links below helps support the channel at no cost to you.